What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. Today is January 14th. It is 7:43 p.m. here in Arizona, and I wanted to do a super quick recap. So this video is going to be called Day 4 of shorting MSTR. And as you guys could see, my overall short today, especially if you're part of my LPP team, there should be no surprise. I actually posted it on Instagram. The one setup that I traded today is I waited for MSTR to rip up. I was really focused on SOUN today. That was my main short where I made most of my money today. 14.6K, a huge sell-off. We were able to catch most of this during today's live trading session. Again, if you ever want to watch me trade live, it's the second link in the description down below. It's no screenshots, no BS, just a raw live session every single day. And you would have seen me actively short SOUN. So later within the day, as this thing made lower lows and lower highs and continued to get rejected, walked away with 14.6K on the day. DJT walked away with 10.1K on the day. This thing sold off a total of 8.3%. I called this one out yesterday after it pumped up 20% on the day. Again, anything that pumps will always end up dumping because we know that these are short-lived positive catalysts that tend to overreact. Once we wait for that confirmation and price action follows, it is much easier to make money. Just like MSTR, I think people got it confused. And I've said this from the very beginning. My focus with MSTR, when I short MSTR or even go long on it, I close out my trade every single day. Like right now, right? The $3,700 that I made on MSTR, I left myself with my one lucky share. I have no more, I don't carry the position overnight. And that is, I would say, I think because people thought that MSTR was in the green, they're like, oh, Ricky's in the red. No, homeboy. I think you got it twisted. That's how you trade. You carry your positions overnight. You continue to bag hold them even when they're not going according to plan. You're the one that is down, 40% from all-time highs down to the current lows, right? Our focus is we understand that there's two sides to every opportunity. I understand that Bitcoin can continue to push up, and it is my job as a trader to manage risk, not avoid it. So anytime that I see MSTR rip up or pushing up, I let it do its thing, right? If you're part of my LPP team, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I always preach, let the bulls have their day. Let the bulls, if there's no change of direction, if there's no signs of a resistance, let the markets push. We don't have to trade MSTR every single day. My job is to show up when an opportunity is presenting itself. But boy, did it, right? And I announced it on Instagram. I even shared it to my LPP team. And then, of course, I posted on Instagram before the trade even fully played out. MSTR was ripping up, right? It sold off. My main focus was SOUN. That's where I made most of my money. We're driving up to Flagstaff because there's a property we went to go check out. And while I was driving, I was getting all these alerts that MSTR broke above 344, MSTR broke above 345, MSTR broke above 349. It surpassed previous highs, and it became so overbought based off of previous patterns that I was like, hey, this might be a potential overbought reversal setup. So I shared it with my LPP team. I was like, hey, I'm paying attention to this. This might be something that I might want to short. I'm going to take a light position entry here to short it. Means that I'm betting against it. And then if direction becomes favorable, I'll add more to it. It ripped up. It went against me for a little bit. But again, when you have a light position, you can tolerate when a trade goes against you. It's the whole point of being light early in a position. It's also easier to manage risk. As this thing peaked at 354, it retraced so hard and retraced all the way to lows of 340. So as this thing began to sell off and it broke its pattern, right, it no longer was bouncing off of this EMA as this thing was indicating signs of higher highs and higher lows. It broke its pattern, it pulled back, broke below EMA, confirmed its reversal, confirmed its break of pattern, and then at that point, that's when I stepped on the gas. I added more to it, direction became favorable, and that's when I stepped on the gas. Lower lows, lower highs, price action followed, and within a few minutes, I went from not trading MSTR to being up $3,700. And again, this trade alone is not a crazy trade, but it's in my opinion, at least for me, it's a successful trade. MSTR is in the green, and I made money shorting it simply by waiting for an overbought reversal to form. I waited for my criteria to be met. I waited for confirmation. And when direction began to present itself, I then added more to it as, again, price action followed. And then as we approached the previous support range, I covered and I took profits right away, leaving myself with my one lucky share. Bada bing, bada boom. No reason to overcomplicate it. No stress. If Bitcoin continues to push up overnight, I hope that it does. I know that Bitcoin can continue to push, and I hope that it does, right? I hope that MicroStrategy pushes up to 400. I have nothing against that because I know one thing. It's short-lived. MicroStrategy will always correct itself because it's derived under Bitcoin's price action. And again, Bitcoin might have some nice rallies, it might have some nice pushes, and we'll let it do its thing. But Bitcoin always crashes. Bitcoin always corrects itself. That is one thing that is certain. It's not an opinion, it's a fact. If you look at every single previous time that Bitcoin has crashed or rallied, it corrects itself 70%. Every single time it corrects itself 70%, at least 70 to 80%. So I'm excited. Let this thing run. Let it push up to 100. Let it push up to 108. Let it push up to new highs if it really can, right? You should never be against that it can't make new highs because that's always a possibility. You always have to be open-minded, especially with these like pump and dumps, right? Anything can happen when momentum and hype are in play. But just like anything can happen, there's always these pullbacks. And you always have to be open to that. There's two sides to every opportunity. And if you refuse to believe so, this market will swallow you, right? So other than that, tomorrow we do have that CPI data report 1 hour before the market opens. Expectation is 3.3%, and we are currently sitting at 3.3%. So again, if you guys want to do this yourself, bls.gov/CPI. This is where the new inflation report will be released. I was thinking, if you guys want me to, I can go live for free on YouTube 1 hour before the market opens and host a free live session as we watch the market react to that CPI data report. If you'd like me to do so, just get this video to over 500 likes, subscribe to the channel, and again, I'll see you tomorrow 1 hour before the market opens for that CPI data report. If not, I totally understand. I'll see you tomorrow at market open for our live trading session if you end up joining our LPP team, and that's the second link in the description down below. Again, raw live trading every single day, no BS. If you're ready to sign up, we're running a huge sale. Second link in the description down below, and it's a one-time payment for lifetime access. I appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.